it would have been a better Super Bowl if the
way better.
Yeah, because and actually the turnout wasn't good at all. You know, I live in Atlanta. I live right down the street from the Dome.
Yeah. You told me.
Yeah, there was no traffic, no nothing. Like it was crazy. But what I tell Q, were you in Atlanta in 2002?
Yeah.
So when they had All-Star Weekend here, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But yeah, Super Bowl, nobody was the streets weren't really packed like that. All right, guys, we are live. We were just chopping it up about Super Bowl weekend. I know I live in Atlanta, so I wasn't that impressed with the turnout. You know, they were making it seem as if it was going to be crazy here in Atlanta, but it wasn't. But everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Guru, and I have the brother Q, Mr. Research, on with us. And today's topic is certified gay. Go after women with career value over fat asses. I know a lot of brothers have been making a lot of mistakes in the women they choose. Same thing with women, but this is, for the brothers. You know, you go over fat asses, you choose fat asses over career value. Next you know, you get a girl pregnant, you in a child support court, they hitting you over the head, and it's then you're miserable. So cue Mr. Research.
Yes, sir.
I feel like we shouldn't have to explain this, but a lot of time, brothers, even myself, I've been guilty. We choose with our choose with our penises. We think with our penises. So, cue Mr. Research. Go ahead, brother.
You know what? Let me remix the game and go backwards so we can bring it forward. So let's start with the females.
Go ahead.
All right. Why are a lot of these females having bad relationship choices? Because they penis picking over protection picking.
Facts.
Most of the time.
I'm sorry. Certified gay.
There you go. Certified gay. It's like with women have a hard time with established men or men who have something to do or a greater destiny that they're working on.
Do you think it's an insecurity issue? That's what I've heard.
No, it's a control issue.
Okay, that too.
It's a control issue because women operate many a times, though they don't like to admit it, they operate out of fear a lot of times. Couple that, they can't control what their vagina wants sexually many times. It's the same thing with the guys. I'm going to get to the guys in a second, but it's the same thing. And women have this thing where, okay, she done picked a bad penis. It didn't work out. Instead of her being responsible, saying, you know what? I let my vagina do the picking for me. I need to pick somebody that's going to protect what I got going on. Even if maybe he walks with a limp or maybe he ain't as this or ain't as that as I would like for him to be. Dudes have that ability. Because if you notice, dudes do not necessarily, when dudes get married, they don't necessarily marry the beauty queen. They marry the chick they like coming home to.
True.
That was a quote from Morris Chestnut.
Now, O'Shea called it, shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He called it an upgradable 7.
Yeah. Because the thing is, let's just go into upgrade on the female side. We're going to get to the guys, but let's go into upgrade on the female side. Traditionally, back in the days, grandmama used to find a man who had a job and not somebody that was just talking about a job. Grandmama wouldn't get with nobody who wasn't a benefit to her situation. Okay. So she would sit up here and say, hey, let me spruce him up is the word they used to use. Show him how to tie a tie. Maybe go get him that one nice blazer. So now she can tolerate this guy. He's doing what she likes to do in a money capacity. And it's the same thing with Pakistani, same thing with Indians, same thing with arranged marriages. People are trying to take over everything that single people cannot hold on to. And that's certified game. And I'm explaining why. Everybody's operating off families, Dynas.
Uh-huh.
Our community, the only one that's still operating off being single. It's hard for you to be single.
And I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
You got time, but as we get older, a lot of people don't have their dynasty in place, right. And these families come in and they see Dynas is hurt. He been in the hospital for a couple of months. Ain't nobody paid the taxes on the house, and they slide in. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We got to understand that. So as it relates to the title today, you can't. You have to protect your stuff, because having a Superman S on your chest, thinking that nothing's going to happen to you and you ain't never going to be in jeopardy, that's a falsehood.
Well, let me ask you this, Q. I gotta play, even though I don't advocate.
Go ahead.
Even though I don't advocate for the devil on anything, I gotta play devil's advocate.
Yes, sir.
Now, the scenario you just gave is a reason why a lot of men settle. So they'll settle with a woman that wasn't their first choice because of and brother, you're dealing with reality. I don't want to call it fear mongering. No,
go ahead.
Again, the example you just gave is why a lot of brothers settle. Why? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
So here's the thing. If you do not want to, quote unquote, what one person may believe is settling, because remember, one person's garbage is another person's, dinner.
Right.
But if you don't want to settle, then you just need to challenge yourself on upgrading your environment. Like I always show videos of where I fly out to, places I go, condos I rent, not because I'm trying to show off. I'm trying to show that it's possible to put yourself in a different environment around different classes of women. So if you feel like you don't want to settle, then you can still use this, what we're talking about today, career over fat asses. You just got to go for the career stuff first. Let me give you an example. It's better. I've dated nothing really but psychiatrists, doctors, lawyers, female engineers, movie directors. But I got friends who are porn stars. I got friends who are these female friends who are lower end, whatever. I could never take that serious because, and I'm not trying to sound arrogant, what they got going on in their life would cause me to keep them afloat. You feel me?
Right.
I can't do that. So even though this person over here might be more beautiful than this 7, kind of like what O'Shea said, I'm going to take the upgradable 7 because it's more of a protection for what I'm doing moving forward. A lot of people can't understand that because a lot of times we're just dating, which is like you said, the fear mongering. We're just dating. But when you're trying to get somebody to protect your stuff in the event that you got hospitalized tomorrow,
right,
you're going to need that upgradable 7.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Doug makes a great point in the chat room. He says, can you have both career value and a fat ass? I mean, I see a lot of that walking around here in Atlanta.
Yes, you can do that, but it's up to you. You know what's really sad about a lot of levels of the game?
Go ahead.
Certain people believe they have the game to maintain, but they don't. And when you do walk around into one of these super bad chicks that got her stuff on point too, your mental game is going to have to be superior to hers. And look, it has nothing to do with your money. It has to do with how you lead a chick. A chick doesn't want to have a bunch of problems in her life. Right. She doesn't want to be 50-50 with you, really. I've seen dudes who deal with females who make more money in Atlanta, but they lead them well because they're decision-making type of dudes.
Right.
Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. Oh, no, we can't do that. They're decision makers. And now she's going to him for that safety because she kind of knows maybe she's all over the board or what have you. And she needs somebody to kind of calm her down from listening to her girlfriends. So, yes, you can have them both, but it does require a lot on you as a person who's investigating these chicks. And the same thing for women, too. Women got to start investigating dudes and Stop saying, "Oh, I only like 6 foot." Maybe the 5'5" dude is better for you.
See what we got here. Nelson Noble says it is important that Black men make better decisions when choosing women. A man's greatest asset is his woman.
Now, a lot of people don't like to hear that, but again, I work in a hospital, man. I've been doing that for 18 years. I've only been doing tech for 3 years. I've been in tech for a long time, but I came back to tech 3 years. If something was to happen to me tomorrow, you got to, you got to have, and it's hard to tell people this who are just dating. Just, I want to take my penis on a brand new adventure. I want to take my vagina on a brand new adventure. I tell people, go be a swinger. Go to an orgy. Get that out your system. Uh-huh. Taboo is out there in Atlanta.
Right.
Go get that out your system, because the reality is, man, you make certain moves and you don't have nobody protecting you, you can lose a lot, man.
Can you give us an example, since this is something that you've seen before?
Okay, so one of my friends, he didn't acknowledge that he had a drinking problem, and really he doesn't. But when he would get depressed, he would drink heavily. He's got like 3 or 4 DUIs out there in Blackwell, out in Marietta.
Wow.
If it wasn't for his wife, he'd have lost house. He would have lost a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's just one example. Emory Hospital I used to work at, there's been dudes on the hospital bed. There's been beautiful chicks who would sit up here, and I worked at ICU. This would happen all the time. There was beautiful chicks who would bring that ring, Dinus, sit it right on that bed.
Okay.
I can't do this and leave.
Are you serious, bro?
No, I'm very serious. I put that on everything. Happen more often than not.
Q, come on, bro. Are you serious?
Man, look, I worked at Emory. I worked at Atlanta Medical. ICU department happens a lot. White, black, Latin, it don't matter. When somebody tells somebody, hey, look, you have developed some situation that you might not make it in a year or two, or your recovery is going to be heavy, or I have literally seen some people stick it out. I'll never leave my woman. I was so proud of a couple of brothers, man. They was like, man, that woman fought her family to stay with me. I'd never leave her side. I had one brother sit up here, sell his house to help pay for his woman's medical bills. Wow. One woman had been in the hospital for 4 years. But I have seen a bunch of pretty people put them wedding rings on that bed. I can't do this, and never seen again. I've seen that happen. And it's not just women. Sometimes it's the guys too. White guys. I've seen white guys do it to their white wives. Put that wedding ring on that bed. I can't do it. And people got to understand that, man. So when you getting people of value, it may seem like, okay, I just want to date, man. That's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times, some of these people who are happy in life, they got a 7, they got a 6, and they done upgraded them to a 10. You know what I'm saying? So I have the talent that I take females who are halfway decent, but I got to have her career on point. I turn many a women down when they tell me she's a cosmetologist or she's a dental assistant. I can't do it. I got too much to lose with that.
Someone in the chat room said it happens in the military as well.
Well, the military is a pimp game in itself, because a lot of times military people, let's start with the women real quick. I used to have women try to have sex with me even though they were married. So that was strange. I had a dude actually call me one time, and I didn't know his wife. He was married, and the girl was married, and I was like, I didn't know, bro. I have no idea. I had no idea. But with some of the dudes, they don't realize that women are coming to them many a times playing the role so they can get the benefits.
Wow.
No, that's real game. I met a dude out there in golly, it's out there way past Decatur. He had got with a woman. The woman had 4 kids when he met her. He had no kids. He ended up busting with the woman and got her 2 more kids. So now she got a total of 6.
Wow. That
woman got all of his benefits, and at 55, 60 years old, he was living in a motel. And when I used to talk with him, he said, "Man, I'm just, happy I raised my children." I said, "But ain't none of them coming to see you. Ain't nothing coming to check on you." He's like, "That's all right. I raised them." I was like, wow.
Now, you bring up a great point. Should men or fathers just be content with raising their kids?
No, always try to get what I tell people on the Wolf rules. I said, look, rule number 2, always have a lawyer on deck. Always. When you get the minute a girl gets pregnant, go down to a paralegal service, pay $50 and write up a contract between her and you. You don't want her on no welfare. You don't need for her to sign up. Y'all need to agree on an amount. Y'all need to agree on visitation. If you can get her to sign this while y'all cool, you'll never have to worry about child support, because the judge will always look at that first draft that y'all went to court on as the staple.
Uh-huh. And
I tell dudes, make your payments through PayPal, because PayPal is traceable and it can be pulled up on your phone in court. So stuff like that, man. We have to protect ourselves. We can't fall into this foolery no more of she'll be okay. She'll treat me nice. I mean, I'm not being disrespectful to her, so she ain't got no reason. People go left, Dynast.
True.
For no apparent reason.
True. Somebody in the chat room, Prince, let me get his name. Prince.
Jurin?
Prince of Igor. He says his ex had over 40 bodies times 3. So that's 120 bodies. But she gave him peace of mind. Should he have left? So if your girl has career value but has a lot of bodies, should the bodies matter? Like,
hey, look, I'm gonna say this, and this is real street.
Go ahead.
Everybody used to be. Everybody used to be. And if the knowing of that is too bad for you, then no, don't connect.
Right.
But I'm gonna keep it real. Everybody used to be. Dudes have this strange thing, man, especially dudes in our community. They know they have 150 bodies on them, and they'll get upset when a chick has 5 bodies.
I'm that type of guy. Is there something wrong with that?
I mean, I just you know what? To be honest, man, I mean, I know cats feel better about what it is, whatever, but it's just not reasonable, because for me, my first thing I'm trying to suggest to you is she going to protect your company?
Uh-huh.
Because I've seen, again, I work in medical. I've seen dudes get taken to the cleaners by people who sold a person a dream. And then you sit up here and get in a medical situation, and now they cleaning you out. Matter of fact, let me tell you one good situation I had in Atlanta.
Go ahead.
This is gonna make you so proud of Black women. It's amazing. So I ran into this beautiful chick, man, at a Denny's out there in College Park over by that McDonald's.
College Park.
And
hold on, I need a street. College Park, Denny's.
It's over by the flea market.
No, that Denny's is gone. By the flea market off of Old National.
Yeah, it used to be there. It used to be there.
It's gone now.
Yeah, because I got there. I got it out in Atlanta in '98. So I went there, ran into this chick, and she had all pink on. Nice looking chick, man.
Yeah.
And we started chopping it up.
Well, hold
And
on. Listen, I gotta stop you. What are you doing hollering at girls over off of Old National, Old Nasty, and Gobby Road? I know that area. What you doing over at Old Nasty and Gobby Road
no,
hollering at chicks? I
it
know
was
what type of
late.
chicks hang out over there.
It was late night, man, and we had
okay, late night. Okay.
So anyway, I'm chopping it up with her, and she tells me she has a ex-husband who she has divorced. And this dude was an NBA player. He was a bench rider, but he was an NBA player. And we chopping it up. And I always try to make females feel comfortable to tell me everything, you know. So she sits up here like it broke her heart that this dude was cheating on her.
Uh-huh.
So she had to divorce. They had a kid, but she don't hate him.
Right.
He would give her money. And because she made her own money, she has a very good job. That's another reason I kept hollering at her.
Okay.
And she said, I would put away his money in a CD. He doesn't even know it, but I have a nice nest egg for him in the event anything ever go left. So anything he's ever given me has gone directly there. The dude left the NBA, had jacked off all his money, and was living with his parents again.
Oh, God damn.
And she said he doesn't even know. I have a couple of million in that CD that I didn't even use for her, our daughter. And if he ever get in a situation where he's just really toe up, I'm gonna let him have that. And just say, hey, this is everything you've ever given me. It went all here. Now, to me, man, that was the most noble thing I've ever heard somebody do for somebody who got fucked over by a dude. No.
Well, Yo Fam in the chat room, appreciate the super chat. He says, glad to have a wife from Nigeria through a K1 visa that cook and clean and take care of home. Now, what if she's not career oriented but takes care of home as a housewife?
Okay, so you can always develop a 7 and a 6.
Right.
If she's taking care of home, man, they got online secretaries that can add to the thing when she, you know, you never want your woman to just do too much laying around. Go start a garden in the back. Go sew some clothes. And if you got kids, educate these kids more than the school is. Cause like my plan when I get married, I'm letting my wife know, hey, look, check this out. I don't need for you to work 40 hours a week.
All right.
You work 30, 36. I take it. You take 2 hours and go to the gym, and you take 2 hours and focus on these kids and their education. But they gotta be super smart. I want my kids to be able to GED out at 16 and go direct to junior college at 16.
Okay.
And get away from the social aspect of high school.
All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Your times has changed. Dynasty, my two homies went to Asia and married women with no bodies. Are you sure? One friend got a Filipino 16 years married, and the other one got an Indonesia woman 6 years married. Okay, here's another dynamic. Going overseas.
Right, but he don't know again if they got bodies. He's going. They're going off what they know. But at the end of the day, they happy right now. Now, as those women get older, you need to know that Asian women do not necessarily age very well, unlike these beautiful dark-skinned sisters.
True.
But it is what it is. If you happy, be happy all the way through. But just always remember, man. Sometimes people are with people for years. You as a dude, you still got to develop a woman. You still got to put a woman in a beautiful situation to where she's not so much of your 50-50 partner, but she's not quite your employee. She's like in the middle. She's like free to do her stuff, but it's for the benefit of the family. And I think that's where dudes get away from that. I think dudes really have to say to their women, hey, no, baby, you ain't got to worry about all this and that and the other. I mean, if that's what you want to do as a career, great. but don't let it dominate everything to where it takes away from us as the family. Let you take care of that extra little 4 hours, or manage y'all finances a little better,
Shout out to Gregory Wyatt. He says he isn't sure vinegar works wonders. Are women putting vinegar up their vaginas to make it tighter? Is that the trick?
That is one way. I know there's some other gel that they use medically that shrinks it up as well.
Complex Sense says if it ain't black, put it back. Now, now for the brothers who interracially date, and what I'm starting to notice, Q, is a lot of brothers who interracially date or marry. They date or marry down. And not only do they date or marry down, the girl that they're dating or marrying doesn't have a fat ass, is not even an upgradable 7. What are your thoughts on this? The standard for non-black women sometimes is very low. The bar is set very low versus brothers who are looking for black women, black mates.
All right. Again, let's start with the females on this topic. Uh-huh. There's a lot of females in the same answer. There's a lot of females who do not necessarily like their non-black spouse, but they like somebody that's not arguing over a $40 meal. So the same thing.
You got to repeat that with Certified Game. You got to repeat that again.
There's a lot of women who do not like sucking on pink penis. They do not like their non-black relationship, but they finally are with somebody that ain't stressing over a $40 meal. Because see, when you are non-black and you a manager or you at a mid-level position, you got this money coming, you ain't trying to dress to impress. You wearing plaid, you wearing khakis, but your money's stacking.
Right.
So now when y'all go out to eat, you and your black woman, and the bill comes up $60 or $80, you ain't tripping off that because it's normal for you to have this type of cheese. Okay. So that's one way she falls victim. So the guys is the same way. Sometimes the guys ain't never had a woman who wasn't argumentative and combative. But see, that's her culture not to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to a lot of African ladies now because I like women from Cameroon and Chad, and I like dark-skinned women. Yeah. And they play games too, but not to the degree that America does. America indoctrinates a little girl to be combative. Not all of them, but majority of them. So when these guys are getting with these,
I'm an independent, strong woman. I'm an independent. I don't even know. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But look, white women are taking on that whole thing too. I mean, look at the divorce that Tim Duncan had, and look at the way some of these women bailed out. Antoine Walker, how his wife bailed out. Some of these women bailed out once the money started going. You feel me? And where was the strong white woman then? You know what I'm saying? And so this bottom shelf Becky that you talked about, I remember that. That was the funniest thing ever. And bottom shelf Brad,
right?
This stuff happens because these people are like, this is the first time I ever got any type of treatment. Now they could have got that from black people, but like I said earlier, you got to go in different environments. I just went to a Black Excellent Festival in a suit and tie thing in San Francisco. Great. Outstanding black business people, and it's not about the money and the degrees. It's just you get a different class of people.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is.
And then the brother, now I think I would consider this propaganda. I don't think this is necessarily true, but let me get your thoughts on this, Q. 75% of these black women in America don't have a career path because some of them want to get with a dope boy or a guy off the street that can't barely take care of their self. But you said 75%. That's not true. But I
don't know about this.
But okay, so here we go, Q. when we hear black men on YouTube blaming black women for the situation that's taking place in the so-called ghetto, what are your thoughts on that? Because
okay, it's twofold. Okay, so here's the part where I believe he's close to correct. I've worked around women for over 18 years.
uh-huh.
A lot of women have degrees, a lot of women have stuff going on, but that's it. They don't have, they're not developing nothing. It's kind of like they got this degree and now they settle for a secretary job. They went and did all this. Sometimes the white woman who's our manager is less degree than the black woman working for her. So in that part of it, I will agree with him. But I also agree with you. Like, I just feel like talking down to black females is a waste of your time as a man. You may be right in some things that you feel or some things that are documented, but I just don't think it's worth our time. We got other stuff we got to be building for our sons. We got to make sure our daughters can take over or manage the company that we develop. That's what we got to focus on. So yeah, there are some females who really focus on the thugs and the Rickies and the Jody from the movie Baby Boy.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you, in white culture, it happens too. There's redneck women who are doing well, who go for Bubba. Bubba ain't got nothing going on. There's no, I'm serious. There's a lot of women in a white world who will chase cowboys, who ride bulls. Those dudes are super broke. They don't have no money half the time, but they'll chase a dude with a pickup truck and a shotgun. I mean, chase him down, and he ain't got nothing but a shack. So my answer, just because a lot of these black dudes, I think we fall in love with putting down these females, but I think the most powerful thing we can do is not discuss them at all because we're too busy winning with other caliber of women. Certified game.
Certified game. Hey, Sean Ortiz says I should start a dating agency with my connection in Africa. I could.
Hey, you see what we were talking about earlier, though?
Yeah. There we go.
You are the brand. No, I'm serious. You know what? Matter of fact, let's dig into that real quick. Go ahead. People like yourself, man, who have created this niche for yourself that nobody else is exploring. This is why I said for you, I think you just got to get 2 or 3 people underneath you on your team and start delegating stuff to these people that you need to get done. But the problem is you need to constantly be looking at new systems and new investments to get into. Like, for example, let's say you ran across some version of Viagra, hypothetically. You know, it's not as strong, but they done took some African herbs and some
called Yohimbe. It almost gave me a heart attack. I never do that shit again.
Yeah.
Just my buddy's like, hey, you got to try this shit called Yohimbe. I said, okay. So my ex-girlfriend, I was in LA. I popped the pill and I couldn't sleep for like almost 24 hours. I'll never do it again. My heart was about to jump out my chest.
Did your stomach hurt?
My stomach didn't hurt, but like I said, I couldn't sleep for like almost 24 hours. My damn shit was hard for like near 6-7 hours, and I couldn't sleep. I was bouncing off the wall. Like I'll never do it again.
Now I'm gonna tell you, I do something. If that kind of spooked you, I do something that's a mix. I take the Yohimbe, maca, walnut oil, and zinc.
Yeah.
And I put them joints together, and then that's my natural Viagra. but you know what my point is, if you came up with something in your travels, you want to be ready to go and exploit it to the powers that be. And you just got to get you a team up underneath you, hire a couple of African brothers who can type, or, sisters, and start delegating. Hey, I just came up on something. Need for y'all to start pushing this on my Facebook and my Twitter. Y'all, got one person in charge of your stuff. And this goes all back to what we're talking about with the dating stuff. You want to get women on your team that can add to what you're doing. Or if she's better than you, you can add to her situation.
Yeah, I never touched a Yohimbe ever again. Nah, I'm good. I never after that experience, I never touched it again.
You got to be careful because with the Yohimbe, man, and I know you ain't gonna touch it, but yeah, if you bust, sometimes your stomach will start cramping up.
I didn't have any issues with that. It's just like I said, my heart was about to fly out my chest. I couldn't sleep. I was like literally like bouncing off the wall. Like I couldn't sleep or lay down. Like I was just on the wall. Like my girl was looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was just like, I don't know. So yeah, I'll never take that shit again.
Oh, hold on. Somebody said $250 purse.
No, I'm saying that if you see a sister at the bus stop with a $250 purse, what do you say?
That might be that chick.
That's sisters all over New York because people really don't drive automobiles in New York. They use public transportation. So
yeah, that's not amazing though. You know, because
$250 purse isn't exactly.
It's not amazing.
Yeah, it's $250.
That you know, I've seen chicks that will make sure their kids don't eat in order to get that purse.
Yeah, right.
I'm serious, man. It's just like with dudes. I've seen dudes will catch the bus to Foot Locker, pay $300 for some shoes, and catch the bus back, no car.
So in Atlanta, they'll catch
the
MARTA to Lenox Mall or West End Mall. Go get the J's and then hop back on the MARTA back home. Yeah, oh yeah, that's normal. Yeah.
Man, when I saw that at a South DeKalb Mall, I thought that was the strangest thing I've ever seen, man.
Oh yeah, it's normal. Go to Lenox Mall on a Saturday at 5:00.
Wow,
in Atlanta, that's the most dysfunctional. If you want to see Black America in its dysfunctional splendor, go to Lenox Mall at Friday.
and go to the lower level where the food is. That's
okay. Listen. So literally, let me tell you this. So I went to the mall at like 4 or 5 o'clock on it was July 4th weekend. I had some family in town from Sacramento, and I was like, look, let's just go to the mall. Let's go to Lenox Mall because I haven't been in years. So literally, we walk into the food court. Negroes is down there selling dope in the food court. And Lenox Mall, because when I first started going to Lenox Mall back in 2000, 2001, like Lenox Mall was the high-end, high-class.
Yeah.
Like all the foolishness was at West End Mall, Greenbrier Mall, and South DeKalb Mall.
Right.
So
especially Greenbrier.
Right. So we go in, Negroes are selling dope in the food court. We go upstairs, and I don't mind the women being half naked, but you know, we had kids with us, so just half naked everywhere. No, like just damn near naked. We had 6'5" transvestites.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Walking around, more dope selling in the mall. More. Let's see here. What else we had? It was just dysfunctional. Just I told you about the whole LGBTQ thing going on. It was just dope dealing, women half naked, 6'5" transvestites, LGBTQ. Again, it was just the most dysfunctional shit I ever seen in my life. Under one,
but the floors were polished.
The floors were clean. The floors were polished. Yes, they were. It was clean.
Yeah, that first time I went to Lenox Mall, man, I was like, even San Francisco isn't like this.
Where'd you go?
That's the first thing. First time I went to Lenox was after they put Bloomingdale's there.
Man, that must have been a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Since I was going to Lenox Mall in 2000, when I was in college, Bloomingdale's was there.
Yeah, but it wasn't there at first.
Okay, so you was going there in the 90s.
Yeah, because I got there in 98.
Yeah, but Linux Mall was cool. Like back when I was going to Linux Mall in college, Linux Mall was cracking. Like it was cool.
Yes.
Like it has the ladies look good. You know, you didn't have to worry about dudes trying to holler at you. You know, tips. You know, it was cool. Like Linux Mall was cool. Now you got to avoid the dope boys. You know, the girls. You got to avoid the prostitute. There's prostitutes in there in Linux Mall. Then you got the dudes trying to holler at you. I mean, it's just like, God damn.
I think all that happened when they started that valet service at the mall.
Well, the valet service was there back when I was going, like in 2000.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, bet that.
Yeah. So it's just like I said, just you got the ratchetness. You know, girls in there selling booty, dudes in there, you know, aggressive as hell. Like, bruh, like you know, it's just wild.
Man, look, I must have missed out because I was sticking and moving. It's like every time I ran in there, because I think Mace had a condo close to there before he got married to that girl and before he became a pastor. I used to see Mace running through there all the time. And that's how I even dealt with Linux. I like it was nothing that Linux I like going to except Macy's. Macy's was the only one because they had them. Yeah, they had a lot of stuff at Macy's. Other than that, I really wasn't feeling it.
No, Linux Mall is not in the hood. Linux Mall is in Buckhead. That's the thing. But like I said, they catch the MARTA to Linux Mall. and
get right off the train.
They get off the train. They have the Nike Town in there too, like the nice. Yeah, there we go. They have the real nice the Nike Town in there. That's my first time ever being in there when I went in July. Very nice. Nike Town was very nice.
Well, that's what's up. Somebody said they want their sons to marry African girls. If you do, I would suggest that you get your boys to learn some languages. Mm-hmm. Because ain't nothing like dating people from other culture when you can at least carry on a paragraph. What do you say about that, Dynas?
No, I agree. I think we should learn African languages anyway. I'm behind. I need to catch up. I'm running behind as far as learning African languages.
Now, why don't you think a lot of women, if they have complaint about dudes here in America, why would they not try to establish things with decent, successful African men? What's you know?
Talking about the sisters here in America?
Yeah. Why would they not? If they got problems with some American men,
I think it's trying to find them is the issue.
We got the internet. We got apps.
Yeah, but and another thing too.
AfricaIntroductions.com.
Right, but another thing too. A lot of them, when it comes to African men and women, they tend to be very tribal too. So they'll
that's
somebody in their tribe a lot of times. So that could be a problem as well. And then if an African man is gonna marry outside, you know, the woman better be bringing a whole lot to the table. Same thing with the women. If they're going to marry outside, the man better be bringing a whole lot to the table.
Now, describe what is a whole lot.
I mean, just career better be on point. You better have resources, you know.
Okay. What about her?
To the point I had a chick ask me if I had any debt. You know, yeah, you got any credit card debt? No, I was like, damn, yeah. But I own my home and I got good credit.
Right.
You know, but
she was investigating.
I do have some debt, but you know, I own my home and I have good credit. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like the conversation I had with this Haitian girl. Very, very dark skinned sister. Pretty as all outdoors, but she went to the bottom of the list when she said she probably gonna be moving back to New York in a year. I'm like, ain't no reason for me to establish nothing with you. Probably up out of here. So, but well, let me get back to some of this. So, when you looking at fat asses and you want to bust and all this type of stuff, that's cool. But don't necessarily feel you're going to get treated well by those type of chicks, because those type of chicks know that you're there just for the bust. And I'm always amazed with dudes when they get mad when some chick has reversed the pimp game on him. And now he's the one being pimped or he's the one in jeopardy. it's like, the chick didn't really have no value. And the same thing with women when they chase some of these dudes. If they ain't got no value, why are you with them? I heard a dude on a panel the other day say he got 3 kids.
Yeah.
And while I'm not mad at that, I'm like, but bruh, you're not advancing yourself. You're not, why? Ugh, I just don't understand that, man. If you're not advancing, why are you just busting inside of women? Don't make no sense to me.
All right, so Leonard Cantongoli says, I'm African and can never marry an African American if I can upgrade to a white woman. Jesus Christ. Leonard,
wow. What a way to tell us. Well, you know what?
Leonard came over here cooning. And see, Leonard.
Well, here go the question. Here go the question. Leonard, what does he think he's going to get out of that?
I don't know. But Leonard, this is why African Americans squatted up, and we have now the term ADOS because of coons like you who come over here.
This dude.
Oh God! All right, go ahead, Q.
But here's another question.
Go ahead.
That's why so many white women be taking some of these African brothers to the cleaners.
Oh, did you? Oh, so there's a story of a soccer player. I think he's Ghanaian. He married a white European woman, and put it like this: they got divorced, and his brother's now homeless, damn near. And he made millions.
Yeah. You know what? The white chick. I was at. Sorry for eating.
No, you good.
I was at Club Nikki.
The strip club.
Yeah, back in the day. And the white chick.
Yeah. Now Nikki's had the buffet at 3 in the morning, right? Is that
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And the white girl who I was cool with, like I said, I know a lot of sexual type of chicks, but if they all over the place, I don't like putting my penis inside of them. I'm cool. So me and her were just friends.
Uh-huh.
But I used to ask her, why does she date some of these brothers who she knew she was in a better situation than? Because she had a Mercedes, she had a condo, and she was just stripping on the side.
Right.
And she said, well, they all into me. And then that's when I recognized game. I'm like, she knows that these dudes want her more than she wants them. And she gets to get her jollies while he think that he been the pimp of the year. And then when she, evict the dude out of her life, it's off to the next one. But she had this one friend. I think this is good for the chat room to hear. She had this one friend, very pretty, dark-skinned chick. And, I like dark-skinned chicks. She said, no, you don't want to get with her. She got full-blown AIDS.
Oh, God.
Now, there was this dude. He knew she had full-blown AIDS, and he hollered at her anyway, just to show you the sickness of some of these dudes out here.
Oh, yeah.
And he tried to have 2 or 3 rubbers on.
2 or 3?
And one day...
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and then because he ended up beating her butt and going to jail. And I was asking the white girl, how did that happen? And she said, well, he said he had 2, 3 rubbers on, and they all broke. And then he got scared. You knowingly having sex with a girl with full blown AIDS, and you trusting in these rubbers, and they broke, and dude lost his mind and started beating on her.
Okay.
The moral of that story is, you see how some of these people let their penises and their vaginas control them.
Right.
It ain't about that, man. You got to get people of value. That's the whole point of this stream, man. You got to get people of value in your life, because it's no telling what could happen. You got to have some type of support in your world.
Let's see what we got here. Let's see what else we got here in the chat room. Shout out to everybody. Yeah, Nikki's was the shit back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The whole story.
Atlanta, as far as ATL, as far as STDs, they say ATL is like the worst in the world.
Yeah,
It's bad.
yeah. The CDC has them as the number. It's either number one or number two
Yeah,
for the
it's
entire nation.
bad out here. Yeah, it's bad out here.
Yeah, beware.
Beware. Hey, no reckless raw bone in Atlanta.
Well, you know what? I used to run into chicks at these little clubs, and sometimes they would have gay boyfriends. I mean, literal gay boyfriends, like young chicks. And I always thought that was weird. It's like chicks just knowingly dealing with young gay dudes. It's like, you know, hey, go figure. That's that generation. That's that generation.
Mm.
No. But
The HIV rate is the highest in is BM. Is that Baltimore?
no, they trying to say black men. It's best not to say black men, the gay community, because it's not a black man thing, because there are lesbian females who have it. Matter of fact, let me give y'all some medical on something.
Go ahead.
You can catch HIV.
Certified game.
You can catch HIV by having bloody teeth. Your teeth have a lot of ways to get into your bloodstream, and if you don't have your teeth tight gums, if they bleeding a little bit, just by you kissing a person with HIV, you can catch it through that way. Any cut you have in your mouth, you can catch it through that way. So don't always assume that some of these ladies are not walking around with some type of disease, especially the ones who say, I only deal with women. Yeah, that don't mean too much in medical, because it happens a lot of ways. A whole lot of ways. And this is good for y'all to know too, because, and just to prove what I'm saying, most people, when you ask them, no, you can't get it from kissing, but then say, well, what if the gums are bleeding? What if they don't have tight gums? And then a doctor will say, well, in that case, you might be susceptible because you can't get it in the bloodstream through teeth that are not necessarily have tight gums, and they may have some gingivitis to them. So.
Oh, wow. Somebody says most common patients, black men, white women, then black women. So are you saying white women tend to have HIV?
No, he said white men.
White men. Okay. White men. Okay. You know what's funny, Q? This ain't funny, actually. There was what happened? I had flu. Okay, here we go. I had got sinusitis, or my allergies were acting up. And I had went to the what's it called? The not intensive care, but urgent care, or those little urgent clinics where you can walk in clinics.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I had went. There's one in East Point I went to, and so we were talking. I told him how I just got back from Africa, and he said that a lot. And this is funny that she brought up white men. A lot of white men, they would go to Africa, be nasty.
Yeah.
He was saying how what they would do within 48 hours, and he had a name for it, what the white men will call it. But basically, on the return flight back from Africa to Europe, they'll get a fever, and they knew that they had this fever that had HIV. And I forgot the name of the fever that they called. It had a specific name for it. It had something to do with them raw boning in Africa. And then I guess if you take some type of antibodies or something within that 48-hour period, you'll be fine. But it was crazy. He was telling me this, but they had like a nickname for the disease, or that 48-hour period where they would get that fever on the way back from Africa headed to Europe. It was crazy.
You know what's weird? When I used to travel a lot, I would see older white guys just go to these countries, and it wasn't until later watching videos I would see. I don't care if it was Thailand, I don't care if it's Dominican Republic. A lot of these old guys just constantly seeking out young kids, and it's the weirdest thing to me, because I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, But a lot of these older dudes, man. As a matter of fact, that pastor they caught recently, who they defrocked him. This Catholic pastor, because
Right?
he was
Yeah. He's gonna face charges too.
I'm like,
supposed to face charges, allegedly.
I know. He might Harvey Weinstein out of that, because Harvey ain't caught no case yet. Harvey done dodged jail all the way in Sunday.
Right.
Now, let me ask you a side question since we're on here.
Go ahead.
What do you feel about the woman who posted R. Kelly's bail for $1 million?
Did someone actually post it? I thought they were trying to post it.
No. She Matter of fact, there was a bunch of women called the county clerk to see how they can bail him out, and then this one woman who put down herself.
That just happened today.
Yeah.
God, listen, a suburban daycare owner posted.
There we go.
$100,000 bail for accused child rapist R. Kelly. Oh shit.
Yes. Yeah, you go.
I didn't
rush to get him out.
God, are you serious?
But if he was an established dude, they'd have left him right there.
But what's kicker is, again, and the thing is, when you bring up Q, and again, I'm not trying to minimalize the disgusting deeds that R. Kelly has participated in, and how he's I guess what's the word I want to use? What he's done to kids underage.
Right.
I'm trying to think of the correct term. Sodom. I don't know the correct term. I'm not trying to minimize what he's done, but whenever I bring up how a lot of older black women are just as guilty, not as guilty, but give people like R. Kelly a pass or a green light R. Kelly, I get attacked for saying that. But this is another case of it right here.
You know what? Matter of fact, let me show you a linear thing. A white woman, Joy Behar, on The View. They was talking about yesterday. They were talking about older guys who date younger women. Mm-hmm. And they was cracking jokes how disgusting it was. Joy Behar says, what he gonna do with his old flabby butt and whatever. And then it switched, and Joy Behar said, there's a statistic that as women get,
the name of her daycare is the Lord and Child Christian Daycare. Okay, go ahead.
The Lord
and Child Christian Daycare, the woman that bailed out R. Kelly. Goodness. All right, go ahead.
The Lord told her to go bail that man.
The Lord Jesus Christ told her to go bail out R. Kelly.
That is crazy. But Joy Behar was teasing older men dating younger women. And then one of the people said, well, yeah, there's a statistic that as women get older, they want older men. And Joy said, oh, no, not me. I only want young guys. Now, wait a minute. You just finished teasing older dudes with young guys. But the minute Joy said she dates younger men, all the women clap.
Right.
So it goes back to what you said about R. Kelly. Just the inconsistency of the way women want to pick and choose winners and losers. I don't even think it's worth us addressing a lot of times, because women are gonna most of them are just not self-accountable at all.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a lot of women in the black community enable guys like R. Kelly to do what they do.
Yeah.
And you bring that up, and I get attacked. And here's a clear woman with the daycare called Lord and Lord and Child Christian Daycare bailed out R. Kelly, a woman.
Hey, had to use her Christian money to do it.
Right.
Now, as bad as women try to say black men are, ain't no black man ran up there and cashed no check. And
exactly.
But it's the same thing I say about what goes on Black YouTube, and I ain't gonna call names, but there's a lot of inconsistency of people. I said to some women, hey, look, when are you going to do videos about how the white woman is making you work for her and you the most educated woman in America? Why are we only doing stuff about black dudes? They don't want to hear that. And then I say sometimes to the black dude, why don't you sit up here and make videos about how you moved to Montana and you ain't dealing with black women no more? I had one dude said, Q was too expensive. I said, dude, but you get on the thing, you call the women apes and monkeys. And if it's that bad, move to Montana today. They don't want to hear that, man.
That's crazy. Brother Q, I got to go get my son. So we'll go ahead and close out. Any certified game you want to share in the last, we'll say about four minutes?
Absolutely. Everything we do, dating wise, business wise, is for these kids. We need to put ourselves in a position where the kids can look at us and say, you know what? I'm glad that's my dad. And we got a lot of people who, especially on online, I don't think that kids are going to be in a position to respect them. And I'm not saying that out of hate or looking down. It's just a lot of people, the way they talk, man, they talk defeated. They talk like they don't want to own nothing, don't want to manage nothing. I come from a 2-parent family who have had their property for over 50 years. I'm the only boy. That's a lineage I got to protect. Not only my stuff, but everything else. And again, I'm not saying to look down on folks, but we got to start making decisions that benefit our long-term goal the way the Chinese do. They looking 10, 20 years ahead of the game every time they make a decision. We can't do in this, I want to be entertained, I want to bust a nut mentality. It's just not working. Because now your kid is trying to kick in my door because you wasn't a great father.
Right. And brother, how can everybody reach you?
Man, you can catch me over at the new channel, Ask a Classy Black Man. I've tried to get away from the black side of YouTube. Some of it's too poisonous, and really focusing on my career a lot. So I have the Patreon where I do counseling for brothers. I've turned over some brothers' lives. I've helped brothers get more money, helped a couple of marriages. So, you know, I'm doing the good work for the people, man, on the side. And Ask a Classy Black Man at gmail.com.
And with that being said, before we close out, everybody, my brother in the UK, Tom Leaney.
Those bags are hot.
Yeah. Which one you like, Q? You like this one or the snake, the other one? This color's called salmon.
You know what? I like the brown, but you know, everybody likes the brown. You know, the salmon, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the salmon.
Right. So make sure you go to tomlini.com, TOMLINI.com, TOMLINI.com. And luxury bags, black owned. So bam.
There you go.
Go ahead, Q. You about to say something?
No, I was saying, man, I'm proud of you, brother. You have set a trend here on YouTube with classiness and distinction. And I'm not just saying that to soft shoe it. That's real talk. And you continue to be that brand, man, because somebody's watching, and somebody gonna say, "I want to be like Dinus, man." So keep working it out.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So everyone, Q Mr. Research, thank you for coming on, brother. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to Q's YouTube channel as well. We're going to get together more often. I know it's been a while since we did a certified game last time. So I head to Nigeria on Sunday. So when I get back, you know, we'll make sure we'll do more certified games because people need this certified game.
Absolutely.
So everyone, thank you for joining us. Make sure you go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, family. Peace.
Peace.